I'm going to be sharing the 6 best purchases you can make in your 20s. And if you quickly flip through the chapters, you'll see some are quite surprising, but all are data backed. I know what it's like sweeping through other YouTube videos, hearing the same old rubbish. This is going to be different, and it's all been driven from my 12 years experience building a UK-wide home buying company and real estate agency, but also my own property portfolio and equity investments. So if you're serious about building wealth, please like and subscribe because it helps me out. First purchase, your safety net to millionaire status. Everyone needs a long-term, idiot-proof method to becoming a millionaire. Take a look at this. This shows the average annual return of the S&P 500 over the last 10, 15, 20, and 25 years. And if you're living under a rock and don't know what the S&P 500 is, it is an index of the 500 largest companies listed on the stock exchange in the United States. The billionaire investor Warren Buffett, probably the greatest investor of all time, said, "In my view, for most people, the best thing to do is own the S&P 500 index fund." He said that at a Berkshire Hathaway 2020 annual meeting. So let's test this out, whether he's right or wrong. If you invest $200 a month every month for the next 35 years, and let's assume the return is 11.02%, which is exactly how the S&P 500 has performed over the last decade, you'd be projected to make $1 million, all from putting in just $84,000 over the 35 years. Before you say you can't afford $200 a month, do you do any of the following? Buy coffee, buy takeaways, go out for dinner, get drunk on a night out, have a car on finance, have a Netflix, Spotify, or any subscription. If you do any of those things, you can afford to invest. It's just not important enough to you. And in case you're interested, this is what you'd make over 35 years if you put $400, $600, or $1,000 a month. Look, I'm not going to labour the point here. I'm hoping you get it by now. You don't need to be smart to do this. And if you're not already investing every month in some sort of index funds, it's not just me that thinks you'll regret it. Billionaires like Warren Buffett, Tony Robbins, Charlie Munger, Ray Dalio all recommend investing in the S&P 500. Now look, the downside to this first purchase is it's going to make you a millionaire slowly. The next purchase will help you get rich quicker. Second purchase, your brain. What you know is very limited, and what you don't know is limitless. Now, I can't take credit for that statement. It's something I've heard Tom Brady say, and it just stuck with me. Your brain is a complex organ that controls your thoughts, memories, emotions, touch, motor skills, vision, breathing, temperature, hunger, and every process that regulates your body in between. I know it sounds obvious, but our brains are literally the most important possessions we have, and probably the thing we all take for granted the most because we don't see it. It just is. I'm hoping you've all come across this quote, and it is, without doubt, the clearest roadmap to help anyone build the destiny they want. At the moment, there is so much hype about looking after your body, which is the next section of this video, but I'm prioritizing spending money to protect your brain health because it's more important and in a way completely interlinked. Alzheimer's is a terrible disease that, like cancer, will affect a lot of us, and the Alzheimer's Association has a list of 10 healthy habits to protect your brain. I'm going to quickly go through those now for you. Spending money to protect these 10 things, I believe, will also help you be more productive, and therefore more likely you're going to be more successful in life financially. They are: 1, challenge your mind; 2, stay in school; 3, get moving; 4, protect your head; 5, be smoke-free; 6, control your blood pressure; 7, manage diabetes; 8, eating right; 9, maintain a healthy weight; and 10, sleep well. Most of these things are self-explanatory, but the thing I want you to focus on is challenging your mind, which the Alzheimer's Association put right at the top of their list for a reason. We may not always realize it, but being curious, putting our brains to work and trying to learn new things, build that new business or side hustle, learning that skill that can help you make more money is actually incredibly healthy for your brain, as well as being the best thing you can do to discover new ways to make money. The third purchase, your body. In a survey of over 1,300 executives, 75% of them cited physical fitness as a critical to their career success. Now with this, it's a bit like asking if the chicken came before the egg or after, because in general, successful people are motivated people. So as a result, it's just more likely that person is going to then stick to going to the gym and so on. But there is actual scientific evidence that says fitness may come before success. When you are physically active, your body goes into a flight or fight mode. This response releases an endorphin called brain-derived neurotropic factor, or BDNF for short, which gives you the ability to think more clearly and better respond to situations. When you exercise, you actually increase the amount of BDNF in your hippocampus, which is associated with heightened cognitive functions such as memory and emotion. Even better, studies show that this endorphin is sustained for as long as several weeks after exercise. That's why if you ask a successful person like Richard Branson why he works out, he shares that he reckons he enjoys 4 additional productive hours a day when he gets a morning workout in. And I personally feel very similar to Richard. I know my friends that are achieving 6-7 figure incomes pretty much all take daily fitness seriously. But spending money on a gym membership isn't just going to help you perform better at work and make more money, but also help with your love life, believe it or not. 43% of women and 31% of men have some form of sexual dysfunction, and obesity and lack of exercise are the most common associations as to why. Quite literally, having an elevated BMI will make it 50% more likely you'll have problems performing. And it's not just us men. Women that exercised up to 6 hours a week showed significantly higher levels of desire. Looking after your body and mind are on so many different levels a complete no-brainer to invest your time and money on. Don't be an idiot. Stay in shape. It's certainly more important than the fourth purchase. Fourth purchase, an awesome car. Now, I know every YouTube video out there on this topic shares the importance of buying a second-hand car that has low running costs. And to be entirely honest with you, that is actually all really good advice, and actually advice I followed. I didn't buy my Tesla till I was already a millionaire. But the actual reality of this, like almost everything in life, is it isn't actually that black and white. Statistically, owning a flashy car does perceptually make you more attractive to the opposite sex and makes people in general believe you are socially superior. And numerous studies have proved it. And this also holds true statistically for both men and women. Scientists discovered it acts as a status symbol across genders. And here lies the issue for me around this sort of advice on status symbols. Because this isn't just applicable to nice cars, but also wearing nice clothes, having a nice watch, so on and so forth. At what point does the status symbol become a wasteful cost or an asset in your life? It would actually be useful for you guys to comment what you actually think the balance is. In my view, this is where you need to think long and hard about who you want to be perceived as, because your goal is you want to be perceived as the person you want to be within the parameters of what you can afford. So as an example, if I'm looking for a builder and one turns up wearing a Rolex, driving an Aston Martin, I'm going to get nervous this guy's going to rip me off. My builder, who I've worked with for close to a decade, always turns up in a beat old van, doesn't wear anything fancy. And that is very deliberate by him because he is actually a very successful bloke. He never rips me off, always very fair, but it's those qualities that have helped him build a great business in construction, whilst his wife drives a Jaguar and he leaves his Rolex at a 6-bed detached home in the countryside. Fifth purchase, 2 methods of cash flow. The average millionaire has 7 methods of cash flow, which I know seems a bit excessive. And at first I wasn't sure if I did, but when I broke it down, I have my home buying company, estate agency business, referral income by recommending clients to solicitor and mortgage brokers, my property portfolio income, the index fund and share investments, this YouTube channel, and this probably doesn't really fully count, but my pension that will be a 7th income stream. And I think that's it, but I'm not sat here feeling content about that. I want to keep building on more income streams. YPulse took a deep dive into the types of investments that Gen Z and millennials are into. And incredibly, 34% of Gen Z and 47% of millennials had more than one income stream. And these were the sorts of investments and side hustles those with more than one income stream had. At all costs, you've got to make sure you're building out more than one income stream. But also don't forget about the final purchase, the sixth purchase, gamble. Now, I'm not talking about hitting Vegas, guys, as much as that might disappoint you. I'm talking about gambling with your time. Did you know Google employees are encouraged to spend up to 20% of their time working on their own project or ideas? It is called the 20% time policy. And this gamble by Google has paid off big time, because the 20% time policy has been the breeding ground for the ideas like Gmail, Google News, and Google Maps. These products all came from the 20% time policy. How are you gambling your time to build the next big thing in your life? Whilst you think about that, I'll hop over here to my next video.